Okay. What's going on, guys? My name is Victor Jimenez, and thank you again for tuning into Lighthouse 7. And yeah, so this is the first video. This is the first video that I'm making. I explained on the previous video that I wanted to do an introduction series, letting you guys know a bit about me, about my family, my testimony, and how God led us to open up Lighthouse 7. But I wanted to start first by introducing myself and my testimony. And I speak to, oh, yeah, my daughter just reminded me, please subscribe and subscribe to the Instagram and follow us on Instagram at Lighthouse 7. They both have the same name, at Lighthouse 7. And yeah, she told me, she's like, hey, listen, you need to tell your audience and the people that are watching the video to follow you, because that's the whole point. You need to get followers, and for this message to spread, you need to let them know. I didn't let you guys know in the previous video, and I completely forgot, and she went in. But yeah, so this video is about my testimony. Now, my testimony is not, and I speak on behalf of those that really don't have this great testimony. I'm pretty sure there's people out there, and I know there's people out there that are followers of Christ, right? But they don't have this extravagant, encounter with God where their life was at one point they were about to lose their life, and then God automatically rescued them, and or they're on an addiction or some sort of a situation where God came in and just had this encounter, this beautiful encounter, sort of like Paul, when Paul on the road to Damascus had this encounter. No, my testimony is not like that, and I speak for those that have the same experience. And so when I gave my life to Jesus, and I said to him as Lord and Savior, it was more out of like fear and love. First love and then fear. So it was back in 2005, and this is the time where I met my wife, Damaris, and my family took a vacation to visit other family members that we have in Puerto Rico, and I visited my cousin Tani. We call her Tani, and she invited me to a small family friends gathering that they were having at a family member's house, and I was like, okay, cool, and I went, and it was having a good time, whatever, and she had invited a friend of hers. Her name was Damaris, right? From church. So I said, okay. I looked at her from the corner of my eye. I said, all right. I was interested. But I left it at that, because I'm not the type of person also to just come up to you and be like, hey, listen, hey, what's going on? How you doing? That's not me. That's not me. And so I used my cousin as a the middleman, right? So I told, hey, listen, who's that person? She's cute. When can I introduce me to her? So she introduced me to her, but it was like shy, and she was shy. She's very shy. My wife is extremely shy, and I got to speak to her, but it wasn't like crazy talk or whatever, right? We started playing volleyball. We had like this little volleyball game outside, and we had this whole little connection, kind of goofy connection, where we were throwing the ball at each other, completely forgetting everybody else. And everybody was like, hey, we were playing too. You please throw the ball at us. And we started laughing and whatever, and we had this connection, we had this chemistry. But the night ended, and we went our separate ways. But I said, you know what? Let me talk to my cousin and see if I could stay over her house, right? So I stayed over her house, and I told her, hey, listen, can you call your friend? you know. And sure enough, she called her, and that's all she wrote. We started talking for hours. I think we were on the phone. Back then, those phones were like she had the Nokia flip phone, and it was like, how you call it? One of those old school phones. It was like it looked like something like this. Like it's like a brick. And then we just started talking, and we got to know each other. We had like really strong chemistry. But there was one thing, there's one wedge that came in between us, and that was the fact that I'm not a Christian. Right?
This guy, he thought everything was gonna be cool and nice and dandy. I thought I was gonna, have a smooth ride throughout the whole thing, but it's not. It's not easy. But you know what, guys? I'm gonna leave it right here. The battery's about to die. My lights went out for a minute there, and I had to kind of like cut this scene and add it to the previous scene because the battery died. I had to wait a couple of days because I don't have that much time. So it's just crazy. But stay tuned for part 2, and please subscribe and follow at Lighthouse 7 in Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. And visit the website, lighthouse7.com. That's lighthouse, and then you spell out the word 7.com, and check what we got there out. We got a nice clothing line going on, nice designs, and I hope you like it, guys. God bless you. Thank you.